blessed be, it's the Zen Witch here, and I thought I'd just sit down and shoot a little vlog, um, just about what I've been doing and how magic has been moving through my life lately. It's a traumatic time. We're all under it, and meditation is so vitally important to keep your emotions balanced and your mind balanced and in touch with your body and those things. And sewing has been my main meditation. In fact, my altar back there, I mean, it's all lit up and it looks all nice. If you could see it close up, my altar is really dusty. It needs cleaned. It hasn't been cleaned in over a month. And that's like a couple-hour proposition because I take my time and I clean every single item on it, including the shelves. And it's a ritual and a meditation, but I haven't had the time or the will to devote to that. And um, so my altar right now is pretty much me sitting in front of my sewing machine. And as I was sitting there today, I put on my headphones as I usually do, and I was listening to an album called Songs of Tara, and it's Tara, white Tara mantra, green Tara mantra, songs that put me in a very meditative headspace. And as I was sitting there, and my husband's on the other side of the table, and he's cutting out fabric, and my son is sitting at the ironing board, and he's doing the pressing part. So I do a stage, and I throw it to Tam, and he presses things out, and Cliff is cutting things for me. He's cutting the ribbons, he's cutting the elastic, he's cutting the fabric. And I was thinking about the fates, the three fates, where one of them is spinning the thread, one is measuring the thread, which is like the length of a lifetime, and one is cutting the thread. And I saw the three of us just working there. And as I'm working and I get in that meditative headspace, there's a kind of magic called not magic. And you put energy in things, and then you tie knots to bind the energy in. And there's a whole thing: by knot of one the spell's begun, by knot of two it cometh true, by knot of three so mote it be, and it goes on. And when you're sewing in a sewing machine, I mean, sewing machines are kind of miraculous because the thread comes down from the top, and there's a bobbin with thread, and the thread from the top goes down and wraps around the bobbin and picks up that bobbin thread. So they're constantly twisting around each other and weaving up and down over the fabric. And so when I'm in that meditative headspace and I'm sewing, I just think about not magic, and that all of the vibes that are in my mind and the intention coming out of my hands is getting knotted into that fabric. And my intention is that the person that wears this mask be safe, that this be a protective barrier against any invaders coming into the body, and that these people stay in robust good health. And by far the majority of the masks that I've made, and I hit 250 today, so the majority of the masks I've made are going to a nearby hospital. I have now completely what do I want to say? Completely supplied supplied one wing of the step down unit of the emergency department, and now my friend in that department is taking them to other wings. So I'm just going to keep giving them to her. She's going to keep giving them to the departments that need them as they need them, and I'm going to keep sewing. And I still have fabric coming in here and there. I am also sewing. 3/4 of what I do goes to the hospital, and the other quarter goes to people that are asking, and I'm doing like a household at a time. So you tell me how many people are in your household, and you get 2 masks per person, so there can be one clean and one in the laundry. And every time you wear a mask out, you bring it home and you wash it, and they can just be washed in hot soapy water if you want to wash and hang them up, or they can go in the laundry and the dryer, whatever you want to do. But I'm in this ritual headspace. And today when I started sewing, it's been going really smoothly because it's very simple sewing actually. And today when I sat down and started sewing, there were a lot of things going wrong. I was making mistakes. I had 2 masks come back from the ironing board because something was wrong that needed to be fixed. And when I started swearing, when I start saying motherfucker, it's time to stop. And I was reminded of my tea teacher who used to say when you're, dropping things and stubbing your toe and things are just kind of going haywire, she'd say you need to feed your ancestors. You forgot to feed your ancestors. And so she would go and put offerings on the tokomono in the tea room or in the altar in the zendo. And so things were getting fucked up and things were going haywire and I was starting to swear. So it's like, okay, stop. Took a break. I came upstairs for a little while. I went back downstairs, changed the music I was listening to, and then this is kind of fun because when I'm sewing, I'm kind of in a power position. Mom is sewing and doing good things for people, so we have to do what she asks. So, and no danger that my son's ever going to watch this because my kids don't watch my videos, so I can tell you, the devious things that I'm doing. So I started doing this thing of, Tam, can you do me a favor real quick? And he's like, yeah. So I told him, go upstairs and get the abalone shell from the altar, please, and fill it with some sage and bring it back down. So he brings it back down. I brought it to me, please get me some matches. I lit the sage, poofed it out, and said, okay, can you please walk this around and just, do it with intention. And if you're going, do it however you want. But if you're going clockwise around a room, think of what you're making, what you're creating. I'm creating clean air. I'm creating a healthy environment. I'm creating a charged space, whatever that is. If you're going anti-clockwise, then you think about what you're unmaking, what you're banishing, what's going away. I am banishing any germs and bacteria and viruses that are in the air, anything that is not for our optimal good health. So I managed to give him a little magic lesson. And I managed to get the house smoke cleansed. And if you haven't heard this before, they have done studies that show that white sage actually does kill 90-some% of bacteria that are floating in the air, bacteria and viruses and things. So it does actually clean things. So we got that done. And then he's sitting down, he puts his headphones on again a couple minutes later. Hey, Tam, can you do me a favor real quick? And I had him, because this is when I was thinking about the feeding the ancestors thing. I had him get out sake cups, and I have a little wooden étagère that has both my father's and my mother's ashes on it. And I said, get 3 of those cups and put milk in one, honey in one, and vodka in the other, and put those over there as an offering to Grandma and Granddaddy. So he did that, and everything went swimmingly after that. No more errors, no more hassles, no more anything else. But it's like, feed my ancestors and ask them for their support, ask them for their protection, and all of that kind of stuff. So, anything that you do is an opportunity to do magic. And what makes it magic is the focus that you bring to it. Is bringing intent to it. Here is what I'm doing with this action. And any action, no matter how mundane it is, can be elevated to a magical level. From cleaning the toilet to doing laundry to doing dishes. I used to talk to my kids about cleaning their rooms. You're not just cleaning your room. You're doing this whole magical working of creating clear space around you and blessing everything your hands touch and all that kind of stuff. So, while I've been thinking of I desperately needing to do like full-on formal ritual, what I need is a fire and a drumming. I need to dance. My practice is shamanic. Usually when I'm doing ritual on my own, I'm dancing at some point and flinging energy anywhere, womping it up and pointing at where I want it to go. But I haven't had the physical energy, 1, the mental energy, 2. And, the irony of this is when I go and do ritual, it will clear the stress so that I then have a rebound of physical and mental and emotional energy and all that. So, there's that. But anyway, I haven't lately done the physical ritual. And but it's not that I haven't done magic. That's not to say I haven't done magic. I do magic every day as I'm sitting there doing masks. And the consciousness, too, of understanding. And when I first started doing those masks and was working out patterns and logistics of them. And my God, there was all kinds of swearing going on. My machine was fucking up. I was fucking up. I was trying to figure things out. I was trying to sew over this big, heavy, ropey elastic that my machine just won't go over. And it was such a pain in the ass. And so there was lots of blue air hanging around me. And now that I have the skill of doing them, and it's repetitive skill, I've made 250 of these things. I wish I had a pile, I wish I could see them all made together. That would make me feel really good, but I don't. So, as I'm doing these, that I've got that skill and that flow now that is more conducive to putting the magic in them. And it feels good to be producing them. I can sit down and do a batch of 5, and in just a little over an hour, they're done. And it's so nice, and it's also nice to have people helping me. What else did I want to say to you? I thought there was all kinds of stuff that I wanted to talk to you about. Now I can't think of any of it, of course. Oh, well, I will make this short then. And I am putting a donate button down below. I just discovered that my Streamlabs OBS hooks me up with a donation button before YouTube will let me get even within sniffing distance of it. YouTube wants me to have over 1,000. This might be for streaming live from a phone. There's one boundary there to live stream from a phone. I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers and over 4,000 hours of viewing in the previous year, something like that. And I understand why they do it, because you don't want some crazy person putting up an account and then live streaming something horrendous. So you've got to have some kind of reputation behind you, and I salute them for that. I understand it. But, the donate button, there's also a pretty high barrier that you got to clear. But thank God for Streamlabs, because now, if you feel like it, you can throw me a couple bucks, and I'd really, really appreciate it. I appreciate just knowing that you're there and knowing that you're listening. And since I'm on kind of a roll now, I may continue on and add some more videos to my Art of Ritual series. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for sticking with me, you guys. I hope that I can bring you benefit in some way. I hope I can bring you some kind of reassurance and some little bit of happy to your day. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. Like, subscribe, show up again. I will see you on Friday with another Oracle unboxing, unless I see you before that. Until then, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.